Hey there, Kimberly Horn here. Listen, I want to come to you about how do you build a team? I have a lot of leaders, agents, people in the community who are looking to build teams. And the main reason they look at building a team is because of their great success, right? Them as an entrepreneur has had the ability to, create this amazing business. And they're wondering what is the next iteration of business? Like, how do I now grow? And it all comes with building a team. And the biggest reason for that, a lot is for leverage. And so I always say there's a lot of questions you need to ask yourself. What is the team dynamics going to look like? Why are you really considering this? What's the vision of the future for your business? You need to consider the who's. There's a great concept of the right people in the right seat on the bus, meaning there's a lot of talent out there. Yet, if you were to put talent in the wrong seat on the bus, what you're going to find is they don't look that great. Like I know where my talent lies. And if you put me in something that's going to be very detailed, very, sit at my desk all day, or always focusing on numbers and systems, can I do it? Yes. Will I look great doing it? No, because that's not my seat on the bus. So when you're looking at building the team or taking your business to the next level, there's a lot that goes in with just the thinking around building a team. So let's break it down a little bit. So let's go with the why. A lot of reasons the why is, and I hear whys on two different ways. Let's be honest here. Why is they think they should do it. I also have a lot of leaders who they go down the path of building a team and they decide later on, I really just enjoyed it being me and maybe one other person. Some people go, no, 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 no. I want to build an empire. I'm an empire builder. That's great. Go build a team. You have to understand why you're doing it. Does it support who you are? Does it support the vision that you have in mind? I see many people who are building a business or leaders in the community, and when their vision starts to get violated, meaning it doesn't start to align with how they're thinking about something, there's this massive friction of building the team, meaning it doesn't do that. And I have had a lot of friends who have built these great teams and they get to one point they go, I'm having less fun doing this. So why are you doing it? What, does it support your vision? Does it align with who you are? I think the biggest reason why you should consider doing it, short of growing your success and growing yourself as a leader, is building your world so big that when people come into your world, you can build their world. And you have to be willing to do that because if you want someone on your team, they have to be massive talent, meaning I have people who will say all the time, I don't want to do this because nobody has the same grit, tenacity, work ethic with me. Well, yeah, they do. You just got to go find them. It is not the majority. It is definitely the minority. Yet you as a leader have to grow. And there's a lot of great books out there that talks about how do you become a better leader. And the big thing on the why is it has to match your vision and you have to be willing to continue to grow yourself. We talk a lot about entrepreneurial versus purposeful, and the only difference between the two is getting hyper focused on what is your vision. So the other question is how. Probably the hardest part of it, right? Because you know what you'll do, you know your work ethic, you know what your vision is, what your gritty is. The how to do it is you have to find other people who believe in you, who love the idea of them being a part of a team to grow. And, I always ask a really specific question when people are saying, hey, listen, instead of me building my team, I want to be on a team. Lots of time fear comes in with that. They say that is for fear. Let's take the real estate world. If someone is brand new, they come into the real estate world. Let's say they left a job that had, a specific salary. They had days off. They had health insurance. And now they're coming into what is a risky, career. Unless they sell a house, they don't get paid. So they may come in and go, hey, listen, until I learn everything, I'm going to get on a team and I'm going to learn from the best and get leads and build my business. And then when I've learned everything and I've built my business and started making money, I'm going to go do it on my own. And there's nothing wrong with that thinking. Absolutely not. The difference is, though, that may not be something that you want on your team. Meaning, what if you spend a lot of time teaching them, consulting them, coaching them on their business, teaching them everything you know, giving them leads, giving them what they need to succeed, and then they leave your team? Well, I don't think everybody says that's exactly how they're going to do it, and yet sometimes that's the case. You can watch someone's eyes when they are one of two people. Meaning, I know specifically what type of person I am. I'm a builder. I want a team around me, yet I want my names in lights, my goals in the forefront. I want it to be my vision, my journey. And I want to bring people along with me so I can help them grow as well. Or people, you'll say that to them and they go, oh, no, 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 I don't want my name in lights. I don't want to be the leader of this. I like the supportive type of things. There are two different types of people out there. There also can be two types of people out there who think they need to be a part of a team and they find later they're not. So when you're looking at building a team, you can always say that's the be all end all. Yet you can look at, how do I build this team? The other one is understanding the dynamics of the people that you need on the team. A lot of teams are very specific, right? You might have a high driver vision. That's generally the person who leads the team. But you also need that detail-oriented person who literally takes all the crazy that you toss at them and they go, okay, here we go. And they put it into a system or into a process or into something that the company can use over and over again. You need that detail. It's not that you as a leader can't do it. It's just where is your best, highest use of time? And usually it's in the forefront facing with the customer, with the business, of the growth of it, the vision of it. So you got to look at what you're needing in your team and you got to decide, what is that behavioral profile? What's the thinking of that person look like? Because it's generally not you. Unless you're looking at somebody like on the sales and the productive side. Well, on the sales and the productive side, you do need a high driver who's got tenacity and grit and a good work ethic. You also need to look at the culture of your team. The culture of your team speaks volumes. You've seen this before. You've probably worked for someone or worked for a company or worked somewhere and you aligned immediately with the culture. You could feel it. It felt like you. It felt like what you believe in. And you were super involved and excited. Then you've probably had a time where the culture hasn't matched who you are, how you thought, how you would behave. So when you're looking at building that team, you got to say, what's the culture of the team? Who are the people that I need? What is their skills and experience going to look like? And what's the culture of my team? I also believe what people tend to do more than anything else is they forget about standards and expectations. See, without it, it's just a suggestion of maybe you'll do this. I think you should have a standard. The only reason high producers get irritated with somebody who's on their team that's not producing is because they don't have the same work ethic with you. Well, without me understanding the roadmap, how could I do that? So you set up very specific standards, very specific expectations, meaning if you want to have an 8 o'clock meeting, everybody's got to be there at 7:55, ready to go at 8 o'clock. Meaning if you want to meet together and prospect together in the beginning of the day and you want everybody with you, you got that. Or maybe you don't want to do the micromanagement. Listen, your goal is just to do these two things every single day. Once you get them done, you're good to go. So what is the standards and the expectation? And I think the more you hold true to your standards and expectations on building that team, what you do is you find people quickly who align or misalign. And it doesn't mean they're wrong and you're right, or you're wrong and they're right. It just means you're not aligned for where this bus is going. You could be a great person on the bus in the right seat, but if you don't match my standards and my expectations, you really aren't. And here's the thing that I think a lot of leaders forget. One person that's misaligned with what you're doing will be a cancer throughout. Meaning, let's say you have a high producer in your business. They're misaligned in culture, they're misaligned in standards, and they're misaligned in expectations. Maybe they're hitting all the numbers, but they're not fitting in with the team. Everybody else who's being upheld to everything in the same culture as you, they look at that and go, why them and not me? And it starts to spread throughout your team. And it can really kill a team. I would rather have someone with the passion to learn and be, gritty than someone who doesn't have the culture of my team. Okay, so then let's go to the what does a team look like? You have to decide that. You have to look at the vision of not just the goals you have now, the goals you want to have in the future. So you may look at, here's my 1 year, 3 year, 5 year goals. And you got to be able to paint that vision and you need to be crystal clear on what that is. When you're crystal clear, you can start to align people. It doesn't mean you automatically just throw people on the team and let it go. There's got to be a path to that. Leaders a lot of times will throw people on to their team or hire them on their team, and then they have no way of training them and consulting them and coaching them on their actual role. There is a slow down process. And for a high producer, someone that's all speed, no direction, it's actually not easy to do. You don't enjoy slowing down. Yet here's the key with slowing down. When you slow down to reconfigure what the team looks like, to get them all aligned, going the same direction, you can go much faster. We sometimes don't do that. We wait too long to hire someone. We throw someone on the team. We say, you go figure it out. And then they get frustrated. And then you get frustrated. There is a big time in the first 90 days where you should be very aligned on what they need to know. And you got to understand this to some degree, you're going to be, have all the knowledge and all the control. But as they learn the role, it switches to where they get the knowledge and they get the control of the role. And what you need to understand, I see leaders do this all the time. They'll get to that 90-day period and go, well, I really didn't spend a lot of time with them, so I'm going to do another 90 days. Well, when you think about that, you're now 6 months into the role. How do you relieve someone from the role if they're not the right fit? So you got to be prepared in that 90 days to teach them what they need to know and see if they can take control of the range. And let's be honest, you'll know. You'll know in the first 30 days if they're a good fit. And there should be a system or a process that says if we misalign at any point in time, then we separate ways. It doesn't mean that you're not being a kind person. It means I'm going to uphold the standards of my team so that we can all find the right things. And let's be honest, it's actually fair to both parties. If I'm going to jump onto your team and we don't fit and you let me just go for 6, 8, 9, 12 months, I'm missing out on an opportunity in the future that I didn't have because I thought I was aligning with your vision. So you got to be very prepared to release them back into the wild, as I say. And it's okay. It's got to be a win for you and a win for them. And if it's not, you got to be okay with that as well. So building a team isn't just like throwing people in your team so you can grow. You need to be very thoughtful. You got to be a thoughtful leader about when you do that, how you do it, when you do it, why you do it. I think most people, when building a team, they do it at a point of pain versus a point of reflection, meaning this. And I'm gonna go into the real estate world. We know that a lot of times we've got a great book that was written by Gary Keller called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And we know that when an agent starts to do 3 to 4 transactions a month on a consistently basis, they're gonna need support. They're gonna need specific support. You would know that too in your business. You could look at where production is. It shouldn't be when the wheels are about to fall off. You should start looking up when you have consistency, 3, 4, 5 months in a certain area. And you'll say, can I keep up this rate and still build? And usually the answer is no. Meaning, what am I giving up? I think you have to give a little bit before you receive. But what do I have to give up to keep this rate? And lots of times it's not the business that you lose out on. It's the family time, the personal time, the health, the fitness, whatever it is that you do. So how do you build a team? There's a lot of ways to do it. And if this is something that's interest to you, do me a favor, subscribe below. I'd love to have more conversations with you about how you build a team that's going to win. All right. Have a great day.